Turns out it's colder than opening day.
It's funny how that works. What temp we got this morning, bud?
33. It was 37 back at camp. Doug had to sleep in the car. It is October 19th. I've had a couple fronts move in up to this point, and just recently had one go back to a similar area that we were hunting opening weekend. A lot of deer moving. Bucks saw 3 Dougs last night. Doug saw 3 bucks last night, all on or close to public. Been seeing a few more people hunting around than we did opening day, but the weather's super nice. We definitely expected a lot more local people to be hunting around here. But we got about a mile walk back in. We're pretty familiar with this walk. Looking forward to it. We got a lot of area to hit. We're just gonna be doing a lot of open land glassing again. And hopefully we find some sign back there. There was a lot of sign in there in November, so it should be a dang good spot to be at right now. The weather's awesome. Awesome time of year. We're pretty excited for it. So not excited for the walk, but it's gotta happen, you know.
It's fine, it's just a rut.
Did you put a trail cam right at the base of it?
Yeah, well, it's
Okay.
gonna be an early rut this year, you know.
I think it already I think we're in the second phase already, though.
Second phase of the early rut.
It's like the second phase of the post-pre-rut.
Oh, good point, yeah.
Yeah. It's 7:30 right now. Me and Ben made it up to the top of this hill. A little glassing area where we hunted last fall. We watched a lot of bucks move through this area. We know there's definitely a lot of does in here. We saw a person back behind us. As we were walking in, they actually ended up taking the same trail that we walked in on and went the opposite direction. But anyways, we're just gonna sit here. It's super foggy right above this pond. We're just gonna set up, let things kind of settle down as the morning progresses, let this fog burn off and everything before we start moving around and start jumping further into these bedding areas. A lot of heavy trails, a lot of tracks and everything so far. So hopefully we can see something moving around. But if not, we're just gonna give it a little bit of time before we get up and move around too much.
It looks like a buck barn.
Dude, I think that's a buck.
No, it's just a giant
No,
doe.
dude, that is a monster doe.
Oh.
That thing is huge, dude. Oh my god. That's 4 right there, I think. As soon as that sun popped up over the horizon right there, that fog instantly burned off, opened up this whole valley. And there's 4 does across from us, probably like, what'd you say, 400 yards or something like that, to that other side. They're just feeding. It looks like they're probably slowly working up into those pines, where we're gonna probably end up working into this later this morning. But we'll wait till the rest of this fog burns off, exposes the rest of that hillside, can actually see him with my bare eyes right now, but just hold on. Saw something chase something. Just fawns, bud. Just fawns chasing each other. It's fine. Freaked out for a second. Thought Tino popped out.
So there's 3 does down there, and there's one up on top, right?
Yeah, there's one. It looks
Megan.
like it's 2 fawns, 2 does is what it seems like.
Okay.
But yeah, the one up top is a straight up. She's mature. Big barrel-chested doe up on top. They seem real comfortable over there. Yeah, we got a lot more glassing to do up into the spot before hopefully the wind picks up too a little bit so we can move up into this stuff.
Honestly, this stuff's quieter than I thought it would be. I forgot how quiet moving around.
Yeah, I mean, it was frosted, but it wasn't the frost where it's just like, it was still just like kind of a wet frost. So yeah, it was pretty quiet getting in.
Gonna see if we can see a buck.
See if we can't see a buck pop out into this stuff. Pretty gorgeous out here though, if you're into it. It's like 8:20-ish right now. Still pretty chilly, but that sun popped up. The fog's pretty much all burned off now. It swirled around, came back a couple times. That doe group moved up over that ridge that we were watching across from us into those pines. Glass for a little longer, didn't really see much else. Ben brought his bag, we just packed that stuff up, left it as like a little base camp, and we're just gonna pretty much run all around this area. Just start looking for sign and stuff. We know there's does in here though, which is really cool. I'm glad we saw those right off the bat.
You glassed a rub from a long way.
Yeah, we did see a rub plain as day on one of those pines over there, so definitely deer in here, definitely gave us confidence to see that, so we're just gonna start running these trails and stuff until we run into stuff that slows us down pretty much. But
It's feeling like a good day.
it's feeling like a good day, that's what I was trying to get out.
It's feeling so good that you couldn't even get it out.
You know what else I'm getting close to?
Taking a dump.
A frostbitten doe, because boots are not waterproof. It's awesome. You look down at something like this, and you want your boot to have that good, like, whole
Just aeration.
Yeah, it just opens it up for breathing, especially on mornings like this, when you have just too much insulation on the inside. And just let the water kind of just cleans your foot out.
You don't want to get dry foot out here.
Well, and then when it freezes your foot, it kind of just like preserves it too. It's good. And it's good to only have one side do that, because I'd hate to have both of them do that. So it's good to just keep one with that good aeration in it. So
you're saying you're happy with the setup?
yeah.
What you're saying is, hey mom, will you buy me some more shoes? Hey, we got big rubs up here, bud. There's just absolute monsters.
Yeah.
Got a big rub up here. We're getting close to the area.
Gonna get up to a point where we can watch him.
Yeah. It's,
Where he goes. That's a shooter and a half, bud.
let me,
Might be able to just get up to this point and watch him.
yeah, we should run.
Attack him after he moves somewhere. Yeah, it's a sweet looking guy,
Is
dude.
that a rock?
once, but 3 times.
He's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Do you think these things will respond to grunts?
There's thistle feeding again.
Mm-hmm.
Quit moving, bud. I feel like this one we're going to be able to watch right where he goes to lay down.
Well, me and Ben were not making a move, trying to get to a point to see that buck that we saw first. Turned around and Ben saw another rock up in this. There's another buck back up here behind us. This thing's working up. This other buck's coming down the drain, kind of like towards where we're moving to, and this other one's looks like it's moving up into those pines up there to look down over this little valley. We're kind of tucked into the pines now, though. Feeling a lot more protected back here. Were you thinking about just kind of what? I heard it again. Like an arrow on. Like an arrow on.
Good thing is, I think we're set up in a good spot for this other one if you were to come up here a bit. He's moving to the right a good bit. You see him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just kind of get another 40 yards or so. It sounded like there was a deer down there, so yeah, just move really slowly. Like, as long as we can still see him, I think we're good.
Slipped into the pines there.
Just went in.
Yep.
I think we ought to mark a pin over here.
Yeah. So we successfully kept eyes on that buck until he slipped up into the pines there. We're gonna mark it as well as we can on the map. The pines don't show up super well on the map just because it's somewhat old aerial photography, so we won't be able to see exactly where it is, but we'll be able to mark roughly where he's walking in at, so that later we can possibly make a move on it. But right now, we're just moved down another 50 yards from where we were when Ben thought he was hearing coughing, or I guess I heard it too, something down in here. Ben had an encounter with some deer back in here last fall. Perfect bedding spot right here, so gotta just take it somewhat easy for the next however.
Super easy.
Yeah, I mean,
I can be able to see stuff bedded down.
yeah.
They're down low. Three targets acquired. Dude, that's a monster coyote. Fixing to shoot a dog.
Oh, son, that is a deer.
Oh, where? Where?
Oh, that is a huge buck, son.
Where? Keith, you gotta give me an area, dude.
There, moving right there, see? Plain as day.
Oh, yeah.
It's a freaking moose, dude. Like an absolute huge buck.
Why is he going towards the coyote? That's a stud.
Dude, that is huge.
Is that the first one we saw?
No, dude, that's a different one. Dude, that's definitely different than the first one we saw. That's 3 different bucks in this one draw.
I think we finally found him, dude. Just jump right in and just completely block everything up.
Dude, it's so intimidating. Like,
I know.
you got stuff to work with, but it's like, we need those rattling antlers is what a couple guys need.
Good thing they're in the car.
Oh my God. It's like fairly fresh. That's what we're looking for on that side this evening. Our plan as of now is to work it out, hit the road, take the road back for lunch, back at the pack, and then since actually the wind's really good for accessing this spot since the wind's blowing towards the road from it, we're just going to take that up and then access it from, as long as the wind doesn't switch, just access it from the road for the afternoon and try to find something like this evening. But if we can find a big one in one of those transitions where those bucks have been moving, I think there's a good chance that they're going to be moving out towards those things at a pretty decent time in the evening. Really not too spooked. He's stopping right there, Ben.
Alright, well, get a little close.
Well, I don't know. I was just about to say these look like old, so I was like, I don't know, they're probably not. But I didn't really think one would be bedded right there. I figured they'd be a little further up in.
Which one was that?
I feel like that was the first one we saw this morning.
Hey, look, our wind's not going that way, apparently.
Yeah, no, tail didn't go up. He kind of just like trotted up. He almost looked like he was about to slow down once he got to the top.
Unless you want to, like, try to get up there and be downwind of where we are.
We could. We've never really tried that before.
And just come in from way downwind. Get up on top where they are.
Yeah, like just cut back behind us right now. I don't know. That's a nice one though. Yeah. Let's go. decided to just fall back way downwind of ourselves. Hopefully he's gonna cut and just try to get downwind of where we were, try to figure out what we were. So we're just sitting up here on this high point. It's the highest up on this ridge that we've been so far. We saw multiple bucks using this area up here this morning. So if he falls back, we're hoping there's a few trails running through here. We've been up here a couple times. It seems like we just run this transition in a familiar location, and we should be able to cut him off. Or he's long gone and we have to come in tomorrow morning back for him. But we know there's more bucks in here. It's not just him, so we're not super discouraged. Just keep hunting.
Usually some stuff to our left.
Yeah.
Tree branches to hide. Just like if something starts to come out there, it works this way. You can at least turn the shoot to that. Or it gets downwind. With the ideal setting being to come out and kind of work along this.
Yeah.
You know how ideal settings work out.
It's probably around 5 o'clock now, which gives us roughly 2 hours probably of light. It is starting to cool back down. It was pretty warm for a while, but we circled all the way up around. I forgot the rangefinder back at one of our spots and had to walk all the way back after we had spooked that buck and then walk all the way back to meet Ben again. We slowly are working into this bedding area with a pretty strange wind. We did bump one more deer that was just directly downwind of us. Didn't see it or anything, just blew once. Got out of here. Something we have to kind of accept. We kind of knew our wind is going to be blowing up into there. Can't really stop deer from being up in there, but about the second buck we saw this morning, when we watched for quite a while, went into the pines somewhere up here in front of us. We're hoping he's not super boogered. Hopefully he comes out and works his transition within range this evening. We're set up with a pretty good vantage. We're able to see pretty far, and we're hidden pretty well, so we're just gonna sit it out and see what happens.
Good to get down.
To get to where I can possibly get a shot down to there if he comes back. Did you see him at all?
That might have been our shot on the one I guess we're going after.
Yeah. He kind of did what we wanted him to do. Just a classic Ben and Keith, just like don't really trust themselves, knowing that pretty much what we were hoping was going to happen exactly happened.
I don't know. What did he see us? When he came in like that, he must have seen something.
Must have been like right when he came around that corner, and I was like right here, and like he was just like. He definitely saw some. Like it's still enough that like maybe right as I said that, I think my bow might have just been like. And it was enough. It was enough for him to be like, whoa, and then like stare until he's uncomfortable.
Thing is, he came in looking for.
Yeah, looking for movement at all.
Because we were grinding and thrashing stuff.
Yeah, he definitely responded to the call, which is like really cool. It was awesome. But
Also, I think we were definitely within 100 yards of where he's bedded.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
we watched him go in right when he came out.
yeah,
Maybe we should at least back out and just see if we can glass something in the evening. Something to
yeah.